So good morning to all. So we are continuing our chapter, the basics of operating system. So today we are going to study the need for operating system. So why we are needing the operating system? So operating system. So we already studied the different roles of operating system in the previous section. So like here, the significance of operating system or the need of operating systems are here. One figure is there. So first one, it handles input and output. So we already discussed that. So all the input and output devices is handled by the operating system. So recognize and install the peripheral device, which means that if you are connect one keyboard and connect one mouse to your devices, so operating system only recognize that. So it manage the files and folders. You already discussed that all the files and folder system is managed by operating system. It shares the system memory. If any other devices want to share our memory, the operating system is responsible for that. It manages the security concept. So then it allows the software to communicate with the hardware. So we already discussed that operating system acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. So it contains mainly two parts, kernel and shell. So the shell part means it is an interface between that a user and the uh, operating system. So here look at that. So next one, it loads and runs the software application. So if you want to run any application on your device, means on your computer, operating system is responsible for that. So uh, we are seeing in overall, without operating system we cannot do anything on a computer. So these are the significance of operating system or the needs for operating system. So this figure is important. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 points are there. You should just draw this and just write that point only. So this is the significance and the needs for operating system, why we are using operating system and what's the need of operating system. So move to the next page. It is clearly written that operating system is a program which acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. So mainly it facilitates 4 points. First one, it facilitates the convenient access to the hardware. So we already study it is an interface between hardware and the user. So it facilitate the access to the hardware. So by the user, by providing the facility to interact the user with the hardware. So user use different types of languages. So operating system is responsible to communicate with that hardware. Then the operating system is improve the efficiency of the system. Efficiency means the speed of the system, speed, memory, etc. So it is clearly written in bracket CPU and the memory. So it is also provide the security of the system, so which means that all the data by ensuring the authorized users can be system, which means that only authorized users can access the data. No other unauthorized users cannot be access our data. So it is also done by operating system. Then last one, emulate the features not available in hardware, such as giving impression for having more memory. So this is the concept of virtual memory. So in the coming chapters we are studying virtual memory. So next one, operating system, shell and kernel. So yesterday we studied that shell and kernel. There are mainly two parts in operating system, shell and kernel. The shell is responsible for interacting with the user. So yesterday we study shell is responsible for graphical user interface, user, GUI. So shell is a way to interact with the user and the kernel is responsible for interact with the hardware. So operating system, two parts, shell and kernel. First one is responsible for interacting with the user, and second one it is responsible for interacting with the hardware. So first one, shell. So shell acts as an interpreter which does the three things. First one, get the commands from the user. So read the commands and instruction, then it translate the commands to the machine language, then pass the translated command to the kernel. So these are the main three duties done by shell. First one, it take the commands. So the second one, it convert the command to machine language. Third one, it transfer the command to kernel. So kernel is an interface between the interacting with the hardware. So look at that, here one figure is there, user means via application program. So in between kernel is there, So kernel, process management, memory management, device management. So this is done by kernel, the hardware. So too many hardware devices, CPU, memory, and too many devices. So kernel is the core part of an operating system. It functions the basic level of computing. So here it works as an interface between user application and hardware. So here in one figure is there, it shows the role of kernel. So kernel should be it is done by process management, device management, file system management, timer management, memory management, and interrupt handling management. So here this the coming session we are going to study the details about this management. So now you just write this only. So today only this much we study about. First one we study the need for operating system in 9 points.